things were just going too well, weren't they, boys?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We go from like a extremely like good feeling in the city with all the teams. Like
Yep.
think back to like mid to late January.
Mm-hmm.
The Blue Jays just signed George Springer.
Right.
The Leafs are buzzing.
First in the league.
The Raptors, still the Raptors.
Kinda.
And now the Leafs can't buy a win.
No.
The Raptors, who knows what they are past the trade deadline.
No.
And the Blue Jays, they are a part of the biggest experiment in baseball history in a couple of weeks when they have to go play in Texas in front of a full crowd.
Mm-hmm.
They're guinea pigs. So
And they're doing it with no pitchers.
yeah. So I ask you boys, where do we start?
I'd say the Leafs. Because I think this is the first week in a while that there's been a decent amount of news about the Leafs. Like every week we can talk about the games, but like this is the first time in a while where there's been a long list of things we can talk about outside of games.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that they just collapsed and got goal lead for 3 straight games.
Mm-hmm. A lot of just not just reaction to games, like as Brown was saying, but like rumors are swirling left, right, and center. And
Things are
I mean, I think everybody's been on edge in the sense that what is Uncle Scoob gonna do over here? Like he's got us all looking at fucking Twitter, left, right, and center. So
every time something pops up, I'm sitting there refreshing. Like, was it us? Oh no, okay, we're good.
Oh, I have Leafs PR on alerts.
Notifications, yeah.
Yeah, because like it just makes sense. Because normally it's weird because when the Leafs make trades, they rarely leak through the media, right?
No.
I think they're the same with like the Raptors to where
even injuries.
If
they keep everything close to their chest.
Yeah.
Which is credit to them because in some organizations, like remember when the
Buffalo.
Raptors were dealing with sure. Oh, that's something entirely.
We're gonna bring them up already.
Jeez,
if you're looking for the bottom of the barrel in organizations, there you go.
Hit them while they're
It's
down.
not too far down the road.
They're just not good at anything. Remember last year when they were trying to like talk shit to Leaf fans half the time? Like they're an actual organization that mattered. And Buffalo fans are just like obnoxious and arrogant and saying all sorts of shit. Fun.
I like to live in a fairy tale land sometimes, don't you? So what are you gonna do? Okay, back to the Leafs.
Yeah.
Describe the last week in Leafs land.
Unnecessarily angry.
Because they're the same team that they were before.
They got goalie.
Except, so you think it's just they just got beat by the goalie?
They just got beat, man. Like realistically, what did they give up in those games? Like Freddie never gave up more than 3, did he? Maybe 4 the one game.
The one game, I think.
The Ottawa game might have been 4, or was that 3-2?
Well, the Ottawa game, he didn't start the Ottawa game, did he?
Yeah, and he looked great in that one. He was fine in the Jet series. He wasn't great, but like he was fine, and he didn't give up much. They just couldn't score. Bottom line is they couldn't put pucks in the net. And Freddie had a couple of glaring goals that you wish he had, but like they're not goals that you expect him to have, like you expect most goalies to get. And it kind of put this negative vibe around like the whole Leafs field because they've been doing so well, and they finally ran into a spot where it's like, you know what, our shooting percentage was low as hell, and our save percentage was low as hell as well. Like it was just a combination of both. Couldn't score, couldn't make a save, so it was kind of just shit week. That I think once you get past it and you kind of get this 5 days off, I don't think it's anything to worry about.
For me, I'd say that it is frustrating for sure. And I think it does, to me at least, require a little bit of soul searching on the Leafs end. I know it's a little bit maybe of a overreaction, but correct me if I'm wrong. Like Winnipeg is far and above the best and closest thing you'll get of an example to playoff hockey in this division.
I would say.
And the Leafs did not come up to par at all in those 2 games.
That second game. They were
the better
team for 60
they got
minutes.
one. But
they were the better team for 60 minutes, and Hellebuck decided he was playing Vesna like again.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
That was the Austin OT winner, right? Or
Yeah.
was that the one?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
The one where William Nylander should have
Were
had
they-
6 goals in that game.
Yeah.
Right.
He got robbed.
But Saturday's game, like
It was bad.
and I'm speaking more just in reference to Saturday, Sunday, because like Thursday's game was spectacular in the sense
Thursday they
that
were great.
Matthews, like obviously there was a bit of a turnover, but in order to come away with the win there, it kind of offsets what happened this weekend. But again, like losing to Ottawa, coming out flat-footed on a game where you'd hope to bounce back, it leaves this whole weekend as something that was mildly concerning to something that, maybe it's something to pay attention to. And, hearing the rumors swirling now about bringing in a player, I think it's very, very valid that they got to do something. Like it's never been more apparent to me in the sense
If
that
you look at
something's
that
gotta
Ottawa
be
game,
brought in.
If you look at that Ottawa game and you take away the first 2 goals, they were fine the rest of that game. And it was just like that one brief 2-minute period where Hutch just decided to forget how to play goalie again.
Yeah, but wasn't it also wasn't it 8
there.
seconds? Wasn't it 8 seconds between the other goals also? Like the two when
18, I think,
Ottawa scored 4 goals and both were in like a span of like
Batherson.
20
both Drake
Really?
Batherson too. That first one on Freddie, there's nothing you can do. There's not one goalie in the league that makes that save. That was the most disgusting pass of the year. And then that second one's just shit luck, and your D probably got to do a better job coverage. And those are just the two, like that 1 minute long stretch against Hutch where he just let 2 in through his chest, and then the 2 goals back to back against Freddie. Outside of that, the Leafs played a decent game. They weren't good by any means. They got outshot, but like they were good enough to get the win. It was just 2 real soft ones from Hutch and 1 soft one from Freddie that just cost them.
All right, hear me out on this. They pulled Hutch within, like after they gave up the 2 goals, right?
Yeah.
This is coming off of Freddie playing the night before. I just don't get. I understand you want to give your team a chance. There's so much game left, but like, Freddie comes out today and he says, "Yeah, I'm still playing hurt."
Not feeling
like,
good. Yeah.
If that's true, then like, why are you unnecessarily putting that on Fred to go out there and play through the pain from that standpoint? Like, it doesn't make because
I mean,
Freddie Anderson hasn't been the elite goalie that he was.
No.
His first couple of years, the last 2 years.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. You're
so
right.
he's a significantly worse goalie. So if you don't believe in like, so you're saying those the goals against, I can't remember if it was Ottawa or if it was against Winnipeg, but like you don't expect your goalie to make it, but if you want to like win games and especially in the playoffs, like you need your goalie to get hot. And like, does Fred have that in him anymore? I don't think so. I think like first 2 or 3 years you could talk, like I think he absolutely did, and he was like the reason the Leafs were so good. But I don't think that the Leafs can win. Like, you can't say that they're this juggernaut if they have question marks in the back end there.
The thing for me though is that like Freddie is clearly hurt. He's come out and said he's not 100% so healthy, and I think once, like when he was healthy again, like after those first 2 games of the year, he was good. He looked like Freddie for most of that stretch, and then he went down with that injury, and ever since he had been like meh.
Yeah,
I think if you give him time to get healthy, then he would be fine. The unfortunate problem right now is the guy that would have to come in to give him time to get healthy is Michael Hutchinson. So you can't really trust Michael Hutchinson to keep winning you games, and you don't have that Jack Campbell blanket to fall back on. If Jack Campbell's healthy right now, I don't think Freddie's playing as much as he is, and I think he's getting the time to get healthy. But because you don't have Jack Campbell, you need to do whatever you can to win games, and unfortunately that means throwing Freddie in with the injuries that he has.
Should I bring up the conversation that we had last night, Brant? Just as a
How did we talk about last night?
Goalies. A certain goalie.
Oh, I would be interested. Yes.
Okay. Morrow.
Yeah.
There is an elite goalie in the league that is on a shit team. Can you name him for me? On a dog shit
elite goalie on a shit team.
There's only one.
John Gibson.
Correct. If you're the Leafs, like, and you're willing to deal top prospects, why wouldn't you give like a first and one of your top prospects for John Gibson, and you send Freddie back
or a couple
the other way for salary? Like, if you legit 6 point something million, I think 6.9, 6.1.
I'll look it up.
It's a chunk of change, obviously, but
he could arguably be the best goalie in the NHL.
now he hasn't had a good year this year. He's been dog shit, actually. But
He had the hottest start of any goalie and then just fell apart.
But you have to have the caveat that he's playing behind Anaheim.
Who's he? Yeah, but who's he going to be playing behind in front of Toronto?
He's signed through 2026, 27.
Yeah.
I don't think they make that deal.
I think it's far-fetched,
so
but I mean, bringing in that kind of goalie is definitely something the Leafs need.
Sure.
You're talking about trying to win now.
That option's not there. Plain and simple.
I don't think
bringing in a goalie is not an option at this trade deadline.
No, I understand that, but also like if you're Anaheim, what are you doing? You have this giant piece that could set up your rebuild, right? Because they're like rebuilding, but they're not actually rebuilding, if you know what I mean, because they're not fully tanking. They still
they look better, and they still have prospects. I don't know. John Gibson, I still think is young enough to fit into the rebuild. Like you're going to be good in 2 to 3 years, and at that time he'll be 29, 30, which he's either going to slow down or he's going to be exactly what he is right now.
Yeah, like I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah, Freddie wants a word.
Carey Price. Yeah, I don't know.
And it's not like he's been great this year, but like that. I just wanted to use that as an example of like that's a guy that should be available. He's not available, but like
there's just way too many years there for him to make or for him to be available. It's this plus 6 more. Like that's
not in the Leafs realm of possibility.
That's got to be like 2 firsts, some prospects, and a roster guy if you're trying to get him.
Yeah, I'd take him in a heartbeat.
I would do that. I would 100% hand you prospect picks and roster guys for John Gibson. I think that guy's an elite goaltender. I don't think it's arguable that he's top 3. He could be the best goalie in the NHL when he's on his game.
So the Leafs cut Jimmy Vesey. Brant is dying.
I'm not like it just sucks.
Indication for me.
It sucks that you did it when he's playing as well as he has the last little bit. Like this has been the best stretch of Jimmy Vesey we've seen, and this is when we released him.
Like he didn't release him when he was doing absolutely nothing. Like
why the guy was useless, and everyone was chirping him. I'm like, just give him a second, and he comes around, scores a bunch of goals, plays well, and then all of a sudden we're like, waivers.
I think he does nothing on the ice except for like he'll just run into a goal, if you know what I mean. Like, and the Leafs, I think they have better options. I think they have better options that are more well-rounded than Jimmy Vesey.
Who? Gouch?
I mean,
because that is the option that just
hasn't
came
he been lighting up the AHL?
Yeah.
So do lots of guys, but Gouch is now stepping into the top 6.
I mean, essentially, interesting. But essentially, Wayne Simmons is stepping in for Jimmy Vesey's spot. That's a
trade-off. Yeah, I get that's the waivers
trade-off.
that's a waivers move. I get it. Like you put Vesey on waivers to bring in Simmons, but like realistically, the trade-off is Vesey for Gouch, and I just think it's funny that Gouch is just stepping into that left side of Nylander and Tavares right off the hop without playing in the NHL.
So what I think it is basically. They don't want to put that pressure on Simmons yet to just give him that many minutes right away, which I'm here for, which makes sense to just put him at the 4th line, and then you put him on the power play and you see how it works, like, and you ease him in that way, and then if he gets back to being hot, then you throw him back on that line.
Yeah. I really respect what they did with Gouch this time, though. Like they gave him that time in the AHL to like figure out your game, get comfortable with because it's in Toronto still. Get comfortable with being here. And then when you're ready to go, come up here and we can help you. Like they're putting him in a spot to succeed. And if he can't succeed here on that line, I don't know where else he could be. On that Matthews line, that's the only other place that's more likely to succeed on.
He had 2 goals, 6 assists in 6 games. So 8 points in 6 games. How are you?
In the A, yeah. They were bad too. Like the Marlies have not been good lately, from what I've heard.
Yeah, because they don't have a great coach there anymore. Ew. So VC's gone. Wayne Train looks like he's coming back.
Yeah. They said it may not be tomorrow, but
it may not be tomorrow. So they play Saturday again, right?
Yeah,
I
Friday,
think.
Saturday. So there's that might be the thing is like they don't want to play him on a back to back, so you get him in on the Saturday.
Which
Likely.
I would do because then it hypes up the boys a little. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like you get fresh legs in the lineup.
Yeah.
Now, who steps in instead of Simmons? That I don't know.
Who do
In
you
the
have
first
right
night.
now? Who's off the roster right now?
I mean, so
Joey
they called
Anderson?
up on they
Nick
called up
Patan?
Anderson and Lily on the taxi squad, right? So
Nick Robertson was on the taxi squad at some point, right? He went back.
Mhm.
Did he go back down?
Nick Robertson.
Yeah. I would
Let me
assume
check.
he's not playing.
He's on the AHL team, I think.
Okay. Because I know he got called up last week, and then I never saw him get sent back down. But if Anderson got called up, I'm assuming it's Robertson going down. I would assume
He's
it's
on the
Joey
taxi
Anderson that
squad.
slots in on the fourth. That's kind of why Simmons was doing line reps on the fourth as well. Because then it's just like easy plug and play. You give Gallagher's opportunity there, and you can just plug Simmons in or Anderson, depending on who's healthy, who's ready to go.
And like that's the thing with VC, he's not playing any special teams for you.
Oh, he was
At
PK.
least
He had the fourth.
No, he wasn't.
Fifth most PK minutes on the team,
let me
I
look
think
it
he
up.
was
One
playing
sec,
a
one
little bit
sec.
or among
PK.
forwards.
1 second. Yeah, but defensively, his numbers aren't good. So like, what are we doing here?
Like,
You know what I mean?
The rest of his line also can't play defense, so that doesn't help. But he had that role a little bit.
Second.
I'm pretty sure he was playing with
Yeah.
between Marner, Hyman, VC.
Who does the
And-
hockey cards?
And JF.
Yeah,
JF Fresh. Because I know it was Marner, Hyman, not Engvall, Mikheyev. It wasn't even
no, it was
Engvall.
Mikheyev,
It was Mikheyev and who the hell else? Spezza has a couple minutes.
Like they
Who's
kind
that
of
fourth guy?
I think they kind of float it by whoever's like I've seen Spezza there. I've seen
All I know
VC
is he had the
there.
fifth most
I've
minutes
seen
among forwards.
Engvall.
Yeah, but among forwards, like you're throwing out only four
Yeah.
really out there. So what have
They've
you...
ran six because they have they have Spezza to come in and take draws and do stuff like that. So
Yeah.
they've had three different pairings. But
Uh-huh.
he's played a good chunk of
Yeah,
penalty
his
kill
PK
minutes.
number. Yeah. I stand corrected.
Yep.
But
But not enough that it matters.
he's not.
He's
No.
not a top four guy.
No. Meanwhile, that's the thing that they tout Joey Anderson, that he's just a dog. Meanwhile, Jimmy VC, like he's just there.
there.
He's a fourth liner.
Yeah.
He's a
There.
fourth liner.
He was great for what he got paid. I had nothing wrong with Jimmy VC. People expected him to be the Hobie Baker winner that he was in college.
Yeah.
And I think that's unfair to Jimmy VC because he's never been that in the NHL. But for a guy that was making $1 million, like he was good. He did his job. He scored.
He had the upside of being a third liner. Now he
Yeah.
wasn't that, but
Yeah.
like
He had a
was
little bit
fine.
of success on that second line when he was playing with Tavares and Nylander for a bit, and then he fell off, and then he had a little bit of success near the end there. And I think he was a decent pickup for $1 million that just walked out the door, and who cares? You didn't lose anything for
Right.
him. You didn't do anything.
No, 100%.
It was a project that didn't work.
Absolutely.
The only thing that might sting is when he comes back and scores goals
Yep.
for Vancouver.
100%. Didn't Josh Levo do that? He took
Yep,
Leafs?
Josh Levo still does that. I don't think he's going to succeed in Vancouver. They're not in a spot where they can put him somewhere to succeed. They have one line that can help shelter him.
Yeah.
Outside of that, like you're not playing him with Pearson and Bo, I guess. I don't think that that's a thing.
Okay. So Campbell's coming back or on his way back?
He looks like he's ready to return. Apparently, he's been practicing in full. He's out there with the guys, like he's ready to be the backup goalie. But I don't know. They haven't said much in terms of whether or not he'll be back. I think it's still kind of like a play it by ear thing.
What has it been? Like, have they disclosed anything about it? Because I know obviously he took
Did
a
they
knock
ever?
last week.
Did they?
That's
ever
what I
disclose
mean.
it?
This is the whole point of they really keep
No.
things close to
Yeah.
their chest. Like they rarely leak anything.
No.
Like
Right.
we've all been in the dark when it comes to what's gone on with Campbell. Obviously, we saw what happened last week was pretty rough. But
Yep.
I mean, good to hear that. We.
I like that
we
they're
made
not
some
rushing him
progress,
back.
So.
But hopefully he's back this week because that's a big help. It gives Freddie some rest.
Let's talk about the trade front. Okay. So Drager and Friedman have been the two guys that are basically locked in on the Leafs beat in terms of what they want to get. Cal Dubas came out and talked basically and said that he's all in on the year and that he wants to make a move sooner than later. Which, like, hey, fun for
Makes
all of
sense
us
right
because
now.
it literally could happen in the next hour. And
Yeah.
would any of us be shocked? Absolutely not. Like, so I think they're gonna make a move. Now, the size of the move, who knows? Because to me, it seems that Friedman came out and said that Dubas wants to get the best forward that he can get.
Right.
To me, the best forwards that are available are all guys that would be in hockey deals because they have more than 1 year.
Other than Taylor Hall
Other than Taylor Hall and Mikael Granlund.
and Eric Stahl, but Stahl doesn't want to go to Canada apparently.
Yeah. Who would have thought being from like Thunder Bay, you
Thunder
don't
Bay.
want to
It's weird.
like what?
It's weird. Could be one of those guys that, like, I don't want to call him an anti-masker, but like one of those guys is like, I'm not dealing with that COVID shit up there. Whereas like
I
down
think
there,
it's-
he's free
I-
to do whatever the hell he wants.
I think it's because like basically he Thunder
I
Bay,
heard you
middle
might
of
wanna
nowhere,
go to
man.
I heard you might want to go back to Carolina, if anything.
Yeah. And then play with your brother, like not a
Yeah,
bad time.
I mean, I'm not
right?
opposed to that.
Yeah.
He do.
Okay. Oh, you do him, eh? Nice.
Yeah, he do him.
Good looking guy.
yeah, you know. I think he's the best looking Stahl brother, is he not?
Yeah, Jordan looks like a horse, and Mark's just a fucking gorilla.
No.
So I mean,
Yeah.
by
Yeah,
proxy,
probably.
yeah, you're maybe Jared. I don't really remember what Jared looks like, but
No idea. Okay. So, okay, from 31 Thoughts, Freeman
it's not Jared.
said that Cal Dubas confirms he's all in. The last 2 weeks haven't been great, but the vast majority of the season's been strong. He's going to get the best forward he can, and their top prospects are on the table. Because there's no Boston or Tampa
I don't
until
buy
at
it.
least the third round.
I don't buy it.
I think that's just like a make trades with me type of move. But I don't think he's actually
I don't
willing.
buy it.
Like, I don't think anyone's touching Robertson, Sandin, Amirov, or maybe even Liljegren. Like,
I think in the right
Lily's,
deal,
why-
any of
Lily's
them-
the premier piece you throw in. I don't think any of those other three guys are going anywhere.
Do I think they'd be willing to part with one of the top prospects? Yeah, but do I think that they're going for a forward? No. I honestly think,
Do you think this is an entire
is.
fake?
I
So you
I
think they
honestly
need a fake
think.
out?
I
I
honestly
think they need
this
more
is
help at
Dubas
forward than they do at deep.
baiting everybody. I think this is Dubas baiting everybody because
For why?
we saw
What is-
with
why does
we
that
saw
help
with
him?
Muzzin. We were not expecting Muzzin to
Oh,
get
the
brought in when it
left-handed guy.
happened.
The left-handed guy.
We were expecting a D-man, though.
D-man, though. Yeah.
And
But again,
I don't
when
know,
all-
man. If you're looking
when
at this
all
team's
things
issues
point
right
to the
now, it's not on the back
Dubas
end.
goes left.
Here,
we
let
need we need a defenseman.
We don't.
cannot
Let me
tell me-
entertain this Moros.
we don't.
Let me entertain Moro
Hold on.
from this standpoint.
You're gonna
Let
go
me
into the
wait,
playoffs
wait,
with
wait.
Travis Dermott and
Mm-hmm.
Justin Hall.
As the third pair and the right, as the fourth and sixth D-man, I don't think it's that. They haven't been bad. The defense hasn't been the issue in the past month and a half. They've been good. They're not giving
I'm
up
not
that many
here-
shots.
I'm not here for whether or not if good enough right now is not good enough come playoffs.
What's not good enough is the depth up front that hasn't been scoring.
Who,
They scored a
who
little
are we
bit.
Complaining about? Who are we complaining about? You just said Jimmy Vesey at $1 million is something we can't complain about. Who's been the
Yeah,
problem up
'cause
front?
he's fine.
I mean, they don't really
Who's
have
been
a
the
guy
problem
to,
then?
There-
Hold on,
there's
hold
no.
on.
They just don't have a guy that's meant to score up there. No one
They
on
don't
that
have a
third line
guy-
can score. You're trusting Zach Hyman to score goals right now.
And it's that third line has never looked better.
They don't score. They look
Okay,
great. They
okay.
don't score.
What do you mean
Okay,
they don't
but
score? They've
they
been the
don't
best
score!
team for this past month.
Mikheyev has 4 goals in the year.
And
Engvall
probably
has
all-
one.
and probably 3 of them have come in this last month. As soon as they moved
Two.
Hyman onto the line.
2 of them. He scored 2 on
Okay.
that upper line. He has 2 in the last month.
My point is,
Like, they haven't
you
been
cannot
good.
go in- My point is, I'm all here for bringing in a forward, but your
Mm-hmm.
priority should be to bring in a defense because nobody goes into the playoffs saying, "Yeah, we need a forward to make ourselves a better playoff team."
Tampa did. That's literally all Tampa did last year.
Blake Coleman.
They didn't bring in
Blake Coleman,
Zach
Barclay
Bogosian.
Goudreau.
Okay, that's
To play
I get that, but
7D.
they
He was their 7D for
he
most of
didn't
the
play
season.
he didn't play any minutes with Victor Hedman.
At the end, for a little bit, because they had injuries. But the entire rest of the season, he was their 7D man.
Who?
I'm talking about playoffs,
what's his
not
name?
the rest of the season.
Yeah, when they started getting hurt and they needed depth.
When crunch time comes around,
you
right?
have Sandin and Liljegren.
You're gonna throw rookies into the playoffs?
Yes, because Sandin's already played. I'm fine with it.
Are you?
Who are you gonna bring in that's gonna be any better? Matthias Ekholm for what? Your entire prospect pool? Get out of here with that. There's no defense available. I'm not looking at anyone. Savard? They have not talked to them once. He hasn't even been brought up. Columbus is trying to compete. They're not trying to get rid of guys.
My point is, you're going to throw your prospect pool at a forward, despite the fact that this team sits top 3 in goals for per game, and we're going to worry about scoring as opposed to defense.
Yes. We said top 3 because we're still like 6 games more than everybody else in the NHL.
I'm talking about on a per average basis. It doesn't matter about how many goals they have total. It's about per average.
Let's see it.
Per game, they sit in the top 3.
For me,
that doesn't matter. They can play 1 game. They could play 10 games. They could play as the full amount.
We're
they could
fifth.
play.
We're 5th.
What did I say? Top 5? Top 3?
You said top 3.
Because of the past 2 games, sure, they fell off. But my point still remains. This is not a
We
team that
are
worries
also
about their offense.
ninth in goals against. So defense really isn't.
How much of that will hold up? We've said this so many years in the past.
Our goalies have been brutal, and they're still not allowing goals. Like we're fine in defense.
Fine is not good enough, in my opinion.
We also have the 7th least amount of shots against per game. You're gonna tell me the defense is the problem here? They don't allow shots. They don't allow goals.
You're there waving the flag with me as we see and in excruciating fashion watch Travis Dermott.
Yeah, I don't like Travis Dermott being in the lineup, but I don't think they're looking for they're not going after Matthias Ekholm. It's not a thing. I don't know why everyone's trying to make it a thing.
I don't care if it's
David Savard's not available, so who's out there that's better than Travis Dermott? Who's out there that's better than Travis Dermott right now?
Ron Hainsey.
Shut up.
Ron Hainsey hasn't played in a year and a half.
Is the logic wrong?
Yes.
Whether it's a joke or not, you bring in
a Ron Hainsey type guy, maybe. But honestly, I think Sandin's a better option than Dermott right now.
And here we are.
He's hurt.
I'm all for playing him right now. But again, obviously he's got the broken foot.
Yeah.
They let him play 1 game. He gets 2 assists. Let's throw him back into the minors. Yeah. I've been here the entire way to say, hey, let's play this kid. Because you cannot expect Sandin, you cannot expect Liljegren to get thrown into the fire come playoffs and expect to succeed.
I agree that Travis Dermott isn't the best possible option right now. I think Rasmus Sandin should be in the lineup, but I don't think there's a move out there to bring in a defenseman that's good enough to make this team. That matters. That's not going to deplete your entire roster.
They're going all in then.
They're going all in on offense because there's a lot of names out there right now that actually help this team score goals.
It's a 1st or 2nd round loss for me. I'm writing it off then.
There's no way you're losing to one of these teams in the 1st, 2nd round. They gave up 20 shots on average.
I'm not here hating on the Leafs. I'd love to be wrong, but if they're not bringing in somebody to solidify the shit ball that you see every night with the turnovers galore from Dermott and the inconsistent play that will come from Justin Hall.
In the playoffs, you just shelter him more. That's all it is. It's he's going to play 10 minutes a night in the playoffs because you don't need it. I'd rather bring in David
Savard and play Brody and Riley 25 minutes a night, and I'd play Muzzin and Savard another 25 minutes a night, and then the rest of the 10 have fun to the other 2. You could literally play Dermott and Hall together, and I wouldn't care because they're only out there 10 minutes a night, not even.
Well, that's what you're going to do anyways. Because right now, the top 4 is fine.
I don't trust Justin Hall doing that.
Justin Hall's doing an okay job. He's been worse lately, but he's been doing an okay job at being that top 4 guy. How much
longer are you going to expect that to be?
They also stopped playing him with. They stopped playing him in the back half of the game. It's consistently been Muzzin and.
So you're gonna. So what you're telling me is that you're gonna tax your 3 best defenders now, and then expect them to.
No, that's what I mean. That's why Dermott's still playing now, is because they're up on everyone.
I don't.
So they're letting the minutes go.
I'm saying I don't buy it. If you're going all in, you got to bring in a defenseman. I'm all for bringing in scoring. I get that, but your priority needs to be defense. We've seen this year after year, where it's breakdowns in front of the net. Poor Fred, Marinchin's in the lineup last year, and he's giving away the lane for Freddie to let in a weak one after. Well, who is it on, Dermott, or is it on Thing? It's always been this stupid question of what goes wrong, and we never ever pointed at the defense after because, they didn't score in the last game 7, so it's the scoring. But here we are, year after year, in the top 5 of scoring, and everything everybody wants to talk about is let's bring in another forward, and I don't buy it.
So they've played.
I am in the camp of why not both? Because I think the Leafs need another.
I'm with you.
Whatever
don't
move makes sense, but I don't.
Before a defense.
There's
I
just
think
there's
that they need
way
both.
better forward options out there that I'm much more interested in giving up picks for.
Agree. But like, I'm looking at a guy like Colin Miller out of Buffalo, whose Corsi's like his numbers are. I think it's relatively close to Justin Hall. Like, is that an upgrade enough to do that? Like,
it's an upgrade over Derms.
Exactly, it's an upgrade over Dermott.
You're not talking about upgrading on Justin Hall. You're here about
if you're trying to upgrade the defense, you're trying to bring in salary. And in order to dish out salary, the only guy that's going to get you something decent is getting rid of Alex Kerfoot. So now you're down another depth winger to bring in a third pairing D-man right now. Is essentially your play. It's just not worth it. Your defense is good enough where it's at, and if you're trying, unless you're getting a guy that's making $1 or $2 million, you can't make the move without hurting your offense. So it doesn't make sense to hurt the offense to address a defense that hasn't been a problem.
How much do you lose from Kerfoot leaving the lineup if he's playing? No. I'm saying
he's been playing second line minutes right now. He's your second line winger.
But when Simmons comes back and he's healthy, he's not going to slot into the top 6.
That's a lot of ifs. Because you don't know if Simmons is going to come back the way he hasn't been good in 3 years. He was great to start with Simmons,
but he looked fantastic.
2 years, yeah, and now he's hurt, and that's a tough thing to come back. The guy broke his wrist.
Playing Thornton in there, I'm playing Simmons there.
No, but you
Kerfoot
can't.
Is expendable for me.
But I agree. Kerfoot is absolutely expendable in a deal where you're upgrading the top 4, the top 6. But I don't think he's expendable from the standpoint of like you're not trading him away for defensive depth, right?
You're not trying to upgrade your third pairing defense by weakening your forward depth. Right now, if you get rid of Kerfoot, you only have 2 lines. That's it. There's nothing else.
I'm in for. I'm down for like a.
Wait. You take Kerfoot out of the lineup.
Who's on your third line?
Do you have the hemline?
Hyman,
who hasn't scored.
Engvall. What do you mean hasn't?
Who barely scores, man? Hyman's not even on that third line anymore. They moved him. He's been playing with the first line.
The first line.
He's been playing with the first line. So it's Thornton's been on second line. So you put Galch in that spot. Is that the play? Or you have Simmons in that spot?
Again, I'm here for bringing in a top 6 forward. I'm just not here to say that that's the priority.
That's fair.
Unless you're finding a cheap enough defenseman, it just doesn't make sense to trade someone out of that top group.
3.75.
You don't have the money to do that.
Get teams to retain.
Dermott plus Kerfoot is $4 million.
So now you've lost your. So you're now improving your bottom pairing by getting rid of a top 6 forward argument.
You can make it work.
You can, but you're also gonna. I think like a guy like Alex Goligoski would be unreal.
He's expensive as hell.
He's like 5 point something. You get that. They have to retain. They have to retain. It's. And then, or you use Chicago because they have their salary depth, their salary cap, right? You do basically the opposite of what the Leafs did last year and parking the money from the Leonard trade to go to Toronto. Like, I think that makes all the sense in the world because he's defensive numbers are great. So like you put him with Muzzin and you're laughing, right?
If you're looking to improve the defense, I think the move out has to be Justin Hall. Just because he makes a little bit more than Dermott and it helps you cap-wise.
Right.
I think Dermott's just kind of locked himself into that third pairing because there's no way to improve the team with we're just getting rid of him. Like, he doesn't make enough in order to be like, yeah, let's just trade Dermott for help because the help is going to cost $3 to $5 million and Dermott only costs you $1.5 million or whatever it is. It doesn't work.
I don't know.
I won't be shocked if he's still in the third pair. Come the day after trade deadline, I won't be shocked if Travis Dermott's still on that third pairing.
No,
regardless of whether or not we make a trade for a D-man. Like, even if we make the
which is why I'm so upset that everybody keeps talking about forwards because I literally see it going right down the same path that we've had in years past.
They are significantly better defensively than they've been in any years prior. They haven't been this good statistically.
Agreed. So here's my reasoning to why I think that they can improve at both spots. One, the amount of money Alex Kerfoot makes That is reasonably the amount of money that you would need to
For
get
anyone.
a forward
For anybody.
for anyone.
Yeah.
And then if you use that same logic for then, okay, play with this scenario. What if they trade Justin Hall in a package for like a guy like Alex Iafolo? You know what I mean? Because they're making relatively the same amount of money.
Yeah.
And then you then trade your Alex Kerfoot for then it would be your Matthias Ekholm, your Goligoski. Like
I'm all here for
they
it.
use that. They go in basically the opposite direction. In terms
you
of
use your
non-matching
depth
position.
forward to catch a defense, and you use your mid defense.
That's what I mean.
I'm
like,
all for it. Yeah,
I think it's still possible either way.
I think the move we're all missing here is the move where we go talk to Buffalo and you ask about Jack Eichel because he's not playing until the playoffs anyways. So you just let him sit there on the IR until playoffs when he just miraculously has this comeback and him and Kucherov play at the same time. And you go, hey, come play on our playoff roster, and then we'll trade him away next year for 4 firsts.
Yeah. Or we'll give him back to Buffalo.
Yeah, so you can have him back for less than we gave him to you for, and then you can get more.
That's business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a rental.
Right?
You can keep our first that we gave you. You can have Jack back.
Exactly. It just makes all the sense in the world. But like, so that's my thing. There's only like a couple defensemen that I think are actually available that would improve this team. David Savard, Matthias Ekholm, yes. Goligoski, yes. Nick Jarmelson, yes. Even though like he's not obviously what it was, but like Braden Montour, that doesn't do it for me. Mark Stahl, that doesn't do it for me. Colin Miller doesn't
he's
do
good
it
defensively, but not good enough.
Dmitry Kulikov doesn't do it for me, and Jamie Alexiak, they don't do it.
I love Jamie Alexiak, but he's not good enough to. He could be a third pairing guy, but
what does like when I hear the word all in, I hear big fish, and if you're going,
none of those guys are big fish.
No.
Matthias Ekholm is
the big fish.
On any
Savard's
team
a big
in this
fish.
league.
I know Matthias Ekholm has played the right side, but he's a left D man. Like we don't need to just push more guys to the right side because they would work.
Our top 4D would then be left-handed.
Exactly. You have 4 left-handed defensemen playing on the top 4. It's like why?
Also, with like Savard, how much of it has to deal with? Oh, he played the least in the playoffs and was good, so now we all overrate him.
He hasn't been that good. He's okay. He's not.
Who's he playing?
He's not this top tier D man. He's okay.
But he's a steady 4.
Sure.
And that's all you're looking for.
Sure.
But we also don't watch Columbus every night.
I was going to say,
see the bad. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure they benched him.
That's the thing with D-men. Like, we can hate on Justin Hall and Travis Dermott. That's because we watch them every night and we see the good and the bad. But then we see the like. So when I hear Brand talk about Timothy Liljegren and Sandin, or Mikko Lehtinen, they'd be so much better. I'm like, well, yeah, because
I don't know about
you always
so
think
much
you always think that the grass is greener, and that's just not true.
See, here's the thing. So I have ragged on Travis Dermott a lot. I forget what the stat is, but it's just like expected goals against, or like there's some
I just
a lot of the go for it.
Even strength defensive wins above replacement. So even strength more. Travis Dermott is 21st in the league.
Not even that. Among Leaf defensemen, he's like first in expected goals against, and then like shots against per 60, I think it was the other one. Like he is doing well analytically, which I don't see.
Which is why they don't want to trade him.
Which is why they're hung up on having Travis Dermott in the lineup. I just don't like what he...
Which is why I kind of say that sometimes these numbers are flawed.
But he doesn't give up shot. Like, as much as he turns the puck over, they don't get scored on, is the thing. And they don't really get shots against either. Like, even, like, you could say, he plays with, Bogosian. But Bogosian's sitting 3rd or 4th in the same 2 categories. So it's kind of... It's weird
Bogosian's
the way
analytics
it sits.
are fucking awful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Bogosian analytically is still dog
Not
water.
good. He's okay. He's average. He's sitting about where he should. But like Dermott's analytics are great, and I think that's why he still has a spot on this team. And like he looks bad, and it hurts to watch him turn the puck over. But I don't think he's a net negative as of right now. Could be, but as of right now, he just hasn't been a net negative. He's just been out there turning pucks over, not letting shots go, and just keeping the puck out of the net, which is all you kind of need the third pairing to do.
When it becomes more glaringly obvious the mistakes come playoffs, that's where I'd hate to see it happen. And
Yeah.
for me, just bringing in a defenseman is preventative action.
Maybe.
And that's why I'm so hard on getting a defenseman. Like,
Yeah. If you're the Kings and you're telling me that you want to hang on to Alex Iafallo, for what reason? They want to extend him, I get that. But if you haven't already, you're not gonna until free agency time. He's a UFA.
Right.
Why are you not bothering? Like, sign him in the offseason. Trade him away and get him back. Like, recoup some value because, like, he doesn't have to stay if he doesn't want to. That doesn't make any sense to me that they're saying, oh, we don't want to get rid of him. We want to keep him.
Yeah, and I don't even think Alex
no
Iafallo is like. I don't think he's a bona fide top six forward on a cup contending team, but I do think he's better than Alex Kerfoot. Like I think if the Leafs don't make a move with Alex Kerfoot, I think that it's a letdown from the standpoint of like I think you could have gotten significantly better.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of money he makes, and if he's not playing third line center, he's not worth it.
Yeah.
I think that's completely fair.
I think that's hitting the nail on the head. Like, it's basically Kapanen Janssen 3.0 if you're playing him outside of the 3C, right?
Mm-hmm. And to where he's not as good as Kapanen and Janssen even were, or at least their potential were. And like he makes some nice plays. He's a good player, but we're trying to win the cup.
Like he's a smart player. Like I think he has better hockey IQ than a lot of the players on the team. But again, like I just don't ever see him turning on a playoff switch. If you know what I mean? Like there's no like intensity. Like Hyman, I really expected to see this.
I've seen
this
Kerf
time of
turn
season.
up to a different level at times. He was good last playoffs in that he played with Nick Robertson and who was on his other wing? Either of you guys remember that line? It was Kerfoot, Robertson, and
Kapanen.
Was it Cap? I know that line was really good and they were flying everywhere. They just couldn't get anything going. I think he's fine as a supporting piece on a line because he grinds like a son of a bitch and he flies at 100 miles an hour, but he just doesn't really do anything with the puck near the net. But he's able to give it to other guys that know what they're doing with it.
Some new names were on the athletic trade board.
Yep.
Josh Manson.
Oh, here we go
Down.
again.
Yeah, right?
Every year it's Josh Manson for William Nylander, so I don't know why we might as well do it again.
And my boy, except like it doesn't make sense because Minnesota's a wagon right now.
Matt Dumba?
Yeah, like it just doesn't make sense.
Minnesota's not selling. You're kidding yourself.
Right?
If you think Minnesota's selling
like they've been playing great.
They're unreal.
They're a fun team.
Kirill Kaprizov could probably win the Hart.
Oh,
that kid's been unreal.
They've been fantastic.
Unbelievable, that team. There's no way they're selling, and there's no way Matt Dumba's going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think so.
This is a team like full of like you got Kakkonen in net, you've got
Kaprizov up front.
Up front, like
bunch of other
Greenway,
names.
like a bunch of other young kids, and like this is just a team. Like you watch them play. Leafs of a couple years ago, just let them go and have fun.
They've done the best out of like they should be in hell right now with the contracts of Suter and Parise, and they're like fine. Parise's like barely playing for them.
Irrelevant, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, like kudos to them. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about some of the forwards, I guess, because let's see. Toronto considered Ekholm, but it'd be a left side of Muzzin, Ekholm, and Riley. There's not enough ice time to make sense.
No.
Rickard Rakell's price is apparently too high. Calgary wouldn't have paid for it, and doesn't think that there's
the sun and the moon for Rickard Rakell. It's ridiculous.
And like he's a guy where he's
a significant upgrade though.
Sure, but I'm not giving up that for fucking Rickard Rakell.
What was the package?
It was like it was picks, 2 NHL ready prospects, and something else
NHL players, yeah.
Like it's insane.
I think it's. But if you're looking at it from the Anaheim standpoint, though, like you have no reason to move on from this kid, and unless you're fleecing a team, I mean, you can go kick rocks, right?
The reason you have is because he's a UFA after next year, and there's no reason for him to re-sign here.
No, but again, like you can go about moving him next year.
But he's also not like an unreal player. Like he's good. Don't get me wrong.
But he's not worth that.
Like he's
Last
a
even
solid
couple
even
first
years-
with the
liner.
control.
He's a solid first liner if you brought him onto the Leafs.
I think, but he's the third option on the first line. You know what I mean?
Sure,
I don't
but
think he
that's by
plays.
default with a lot of players in this league. But
I think he can play on the first, but so like last couple of years, 19 points this year, 42 last year, 43,
Mhm.
69 the year before, which is his high,
He's
51, 43. Like,
never been a point per game guy.
yeah.
Ever.
I mean, he's also played with old
That's not first line
Ryan
stuff.
Getzlaf,
Right.
and
Fair.
he's never
Yeah,
really
but
had.
they were a
top line
playoff
center.
team in all but 3 years of his time there. Like they've been good for his entire run there, and like they were good back when he started, and he's just I don't know. I don't think he's worth what they think he's worth. I like Rickard Rakell. I think he's a good player. He's just not.
Yeah,
He's not what they
No,
think he is.
I agree. New Jersey and Palmieri begun discussions about future. Apparently, Toronto could be in on him.
Aren't
But
we just
it's
in on
like-
everyone?
I like Palmieri. Like he's
I think
good
he's a
on the
good player.
defensive side of the puck too. Can
Mhm.
kill penalties.
I
like,
am
really well.
shocked that Moro the Italian likes Kyle Palmieri. Absolutely
No, like,
shocked.
All that aside, I've actually watched a couple of New Jersey games this season.
Yeah,
Stupid
no, he's
crazy,
good.
related to him.
but like yeah, like he's actually been playing well.
But he's been dog bit this year in terms of finishing. So, like, what do you? And then, so are you moving Nylander to the left side in that situation? You know what I mean?
But he's naturally a goal scorer. Like if you look at his stats, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he can
Right.
tap in pucks from the left side if he had to.
No, I think he can.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
that if it's playing on the top line, Friedman went on ESPN radio, I think in Nashville today, and said he thinks Taylor Hall will get traded. The Islanders, Colorado, maybe Toronto. If that is going all
Next.
in.
At
That
least
is-
for me.
That is the definition of going
No, I don't
all in.
want him.
I just don't want it. That is the biggest fish on the table.
I don't
Like
want him.
he is the biggest guy available. I want
Uh-huh.
nothing to do with him, but he is the
Because
biggest
you
guy
don't
available.
know what you're gonna get. You don't know what you're gonna get.
No. He's
Yeah.
he's been good 2
I-
years of his career. 2.
He'd be what? At the minimum, a $4 million cap hit after 50% retained.
Mhm.
Too much for
That is the
me.
best you can get for Taylor Hall.
That-
$4
exactly.
million.
That's the best you can get.
Yeah.
So
And they also
But
said
if you're,
that
but
Yeah.
if you have to give up, like, who knows what the price tag is on him right now? I don't think it's that high. Like, realistically, you think you
Might-
can get a first right now?
right.
if you're
Alex
Buffalo,
Kerfoot in a first?
you'd have to wait for the GM to finish laughing before at the organization before they start their negotiation. First
Right,
of all,
like-
but
If I tell you here's middle prospect and a second round pick and Alex Kerfoot for Taylor Hall, what do you like? I don't know if Buffalo can do better than that.
Buffalo's also not coming at this with a very very high
Now,
side of the bargaining table. You know, they're
maybe because Anders Lee is now out for the Islanders can afford to take on more of his contract, and then that they
Yeah.
don't have. They're just giving away
Yeah.
Taylor Hall
That's-
essentially. Then
That's a guy that does not fit with the Islanders.
not at all.
Not in one single
at all.
sense. I think they do it. I think the Islanders are way more likely than the Leafs, but he would not fit in that system. Also,
And that's
not
why he's got the
good.
no trade. Disagree.
When has he been good in his career? One time. He had
analytically, his
that-
numbers are unreal. He just can't finish at all right now.
Ever, though. Like, he's never been a big point guy at all. He had
stole the
one
heart
year
from
in
Nathan
Edmonton.
McKinnon.
Yeah. His only Hart Trophy year, he didn't even deserve it that year. He had 93 points in 76 games. It was incredible. He had 80 points in 75 games once with the Oilers. And he's just never done anything else.
Yeah, but that was the Oilers before Connor McDavid. That's pretty
Sure.
incredible.
Sure. That's just he just hasn't really done much in terms of finishing.
Look, what other
For an
guy that's out
offensive
there-
weapon making
What-
$8 million, I don't like it.
Okay. But here. Of the guys that are available,
Uh-huh.
what fucking guy are you getting that's a point a game guy? When the realistically, if you put Taylor Hall around,
Taylor Hall. He's
But
got
if you put
579 in 655
when has
games.
Taylor Hall ever played with players like the Leafs have?
True. He'd be way
Never.
better on the Leafs than he
Literally
would be
never.
on any other team. Well, he's
Literally
playing with Jack
never.
Eichel. Well, he was playing with Jack. The ghost of Jack Eichel. It's not really Jack Eichel.
I mean, Jack Eichel was also dog shit this year. So
Yeah,
are
he's
we
been
going to
hurt.
say Jack Eichel's going for a 3rd-round pick? Like, fuck out of here.
No, it's...
No,
Yeah.
but I mean, if there was any year he should have shown what he's capable of, it should have been
Probably
this
should have been
year.
this
and
year.
Has
You
two
know what?
goals.
I think the Leafs just need to trade for Jeff Skinner because he's a 40-goal.
Former 40-goal scorer
so
Jeff
no.
Skinner. I think I'm still on the board of trading for Jack Eichel. I've talked myself into it. We're going to throw some cap bullshit around. Give up 3 firsts.
Oh, I wanted to bring up a funny little. So Craig Button, love him, really nice guy. Okay, he
Okay.
said that the Leafs should try and target Miles Wood since
I
Hall will be
heard
difficult
this.
for them cap wise. Calls Wood a real difference maker. He also only has a cap hit of 2.75 mil next year, and he likens it to it'd be the
Blake
equivalent of Blake Coleman to Tampa last year. Okay. Button mentioned it took a first, Nolan Foote to get Coleman, but to him, that price is worth it for Miles Wood. Jay Fresh then went to dunk on him and compared their stats.
Man, Rachel Dory, who was there when they drafted both of them, was just like, no. Like, Miles Wood, great player, not even fucking close to what Blake Coleman is.
Offensively,
Maybe.
percentage-wise, Blake Coleman 62%, Miles Wood 71%. Wow. Defensively, get a load of this shit, boys. Blake Coleman 98%.
Yeah, no.
Miles
Blake
Wood
Coleman's-
3%. 3%.
Oh, I didn't know he was that bad. Yikes.
And he doesn't PK. He doesn't PK.
Blake Coleman is just like elite defensively as a forward.
Unreal.
You don't touch that as most forwards in the NHL. There's a reason why they had to give up so much for him because that was the guy they needed. But it's not Miles Wood. Hey, I wouldn't hate Miles Wood, but not for that price. Like something cheaper, I'm okay with bringing in Miles Wood. I think he helps the front. Also, man rocket. So it just increases the damn good. But he's going to get hated because he's just too good looking to play hockey. That's the other thing. You see Nylander's analytics?
No. Why?
Oh, I tweeted it out today. It's actually quite interesting.
Okay.
So basically, I forget their names. There's these 2 like German or European guys that I don't like their account, but they tweeted out about Nylander today.
So you liked it.
Well, I had beef with them at one point, but like they threw out all like his analytics and stuff, and basically he's just green everywhere. Like he had I don't know what the percentages work, but he was 77 in offense, 80 in defense, and 92 in transition. So like he's a god at getting the puck where it needs to go, and better defensively than offensively. And I'm like, if this kid's name was John Smith, born and raised in Toronto, Ontario, with brown hair, brown eyes,
In Calgary.
he would be a god in Toronto. God. But because his name is William Nylander from Sweden with beautiful
Calgary.
blonde hair and
Calgary,
an
Alberta.
absolute man rocket, it's just he's so hated. I don't understand.
Noted dual citizen.
Yeah.
Noted dual citizen.
Yeah. No.
William Nylander.
Apparently he doesn't have the good Canadian kid card.
This
He's,
Nylander kid, he just doesn't get pucks in deep.
The floating kid from Sweden that doesn't get it done, even though he's from Calgary, and he's going to play on Team Canada in the Olympics. He's on track. Yeah, I just thought that was hilarious. I'm like, it's too bad that kid's Swedish. Cause
What's
he'd be
more
so
likely?
loved.
What's more likely? The Leafs make a move for a significant player. Okay. Let's say on either forward or defense,
Yep.
or the Leafs just get depth guy.
I think we're...
Do you buy into all in?
Can you make a move for noted depth guy right now? Like, does it work?
Is it worth
cap-wise?
it? Is it worth it? Well, is it worth it for like the quarantine that they have to go through?
No.
Right?
That's if you're making a move, it's something good. But I don't know what something good is right now.
Yeah.
Who's available that you're like, hell yeah, let's go get so and so.
Right.
It's not Matthias Ekholm for me because that's way too expensive for a guy that realistically in his position is the third best at his position on this team.
I would disagree.
On the left side, he's the third best on the left side on this team. You don't move Morgan Riley out. You don't move Jake Muzzin out.
Defensively, Ekholm is better than Riley.
Yeah, he's better than Morgan Riley, but as a whole, he's not.
In my opinion,
Riley's one of the
Ekholm
worst.
would right away become the best 5-on-5 player you have on the back end aside from Brody.
Wow, Jake Muzzin.
He's
wants
not
a
Jake
word.
Muzzin. He's
Jake,
statistically not even close.
Again, that's just my opinion.
Eyeballs wise, he's not even
scores
close.
Points exclusively.
He's played with Roman Yossi. I would be an okay defenseman playing with Roman Yossi. Just to point out,
next to him.
I would
He
be a
has-
great defenseman.
That's
You could
Ryan
say the
Ellis.
exact same
That's
thing-
Ryan
You could say
Ellis.
the exact same thing with Muzzin and Doughty back in the day.
sure, but then Doughty's made, Muzzin's made Justin Hall look like an actual defenseman. So I think that speaks wonders as to what he can do.
Again, I think he's the exact same thing as Muzzin in the sense that he can do exactly, if not a little bit better offensively than what Muzzin does. And at the cap hit, I think it's a steal for what he can bring.
All right. Kevin
Until
Papetti
you-
just tweeted out a who says no 50 seconds ago. Okay. Toronto gets Mikael Granlund with 50% retention.
So it's 1.8.
Matthias Ekholm with 50% retention.
I'm
Nashville
not interested
gets.
to see what the rest of this is.
Nashville gets 2021 first, Alex Kerfoot, and Timothy Liljegren.
Nashville says no.
Sign me up.
Oh,
Nashville
I think Nashville
probably
says
says no.
Nashville laughs in your face. They think Matthias Ekholm's worth way more than that. That's not even enough to get Ekholm on his own for them right now.
The problem is, if you're going to force Nashville to retain on Ekholm too for an extra year, they're not
Right.
taking it just for Liljegren.
But it is only 1.8 million, like that they're retaining. You know what I mean?
I mean, but still, that in its own sense is an asset.
Like realistically, I
Right.
don't think that there's. I think that trade that they said is fine for Ekholm alone. I don't think it's fine for Granlund. I think you have to include pieces for Granlund.
I don't
throw in
think
a
it gets
second pick.
Ekholm on his own. From what
Huh?
it sounds like right now, I don't think it gets Ekholm alone.
I think
From how they've
I
seen
think-
how they've seemingly valued Ekholm, especially if they're having to retain on 50% of it.
Again,
It doesn't
it's
sound
the
like
if
they want
Liljegren,
It's
if
the
they
Muzzin deal,
value
is it not?
Liljegren,
It's close to the Muzzin deal.
it's
I
better
guess.
than Muzzin. It's better than the Muzzin deal because Liljegren is a better prospect than Sean Dursey and Carl Gronstrom combined.
I'm saying that's what
But
they're
then-
looking for, but you're getting, again, like to your point, you're getting the first, you're giving them the first, and you're giving them the equivalent to two
A
prospects in
better-
the sense
a better-
that
even I'd
Liljegren
say
is
even
better
better.
than the two guys that you sent to
Yeah.
Los Angeles. So I think
If you're making this trade, it's the 2022 first too. It's not a 2021 first. Nobody wants them. this
Oh,
year.
because
no,
they
yeah,
don't want
yeah, in
this
that
year's-
sense,
yeah.
the 22nd pick is more valuable.
Not even. It's just next year because like nobody has any idea about the top round in this year's draft because they haven't seen anybody play this year. So apparently,
there's no
like all the teams
generational
are just like,
prospect.
there's no point in having picks this year because you have no fucking clue who's in this.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And I think next year's a Shane Wright draft, right?
Yeah.
That's one you want to get in.
Yep. Okay. Is that it for the lease?
I think so.
Alrighty then. NFL free agency happened.
Yeah.
Boy, did it.
I've been
Boy.
nonstop on my phone, but we'll see.
Where do we start? What do you guys think the biggest moves were?
I don't think it's the biggest move, but can we start with Mitch Trubisky?
Sure. Sure.
Why? Like, why is Buffalo doing this?
He's your backup.
Literally just
Okay.
as a backup.
I
Yeah,
guess, but
and
like,
Mitch was
what
fine.
for? You
Heavens
don't need
forbid-
him.
fine. lately.
No, but heavens forbid something happens to Josh Allen.
If
This
something
is
happens
still
to Josh
team-
Allen, you're done. It's over.
but-
It was
Again,
only
I
$3
think
million.
that-
It was only $3 million.
Was it $3
Who
million?
gives a
Okay,
fuck?
I didn't see
Two
the
and a
number on
half.
it.
2.5. Who gives a
He's a
fuck?
serviceable backup
Then why do you do it if you're Mitch Trubisky? Why are you not trying to get a starting job somewhere?
because you're not getting a starting job somewhere. Come on. You're Mitch Trubisky.
Cam Newton didn't even get a starting job.
In New England?
I mean, it's only $5 million guaranteed. Cam got.
It's the same as he got this year, right? He didn't get much this year either.
I don't know, but
I think he's still the
regardless,
starter there for now.
No,
I would have rather gone to New England and be like, maybe. Because even if Cam sucks, maybe I got a chance. But like, you're not playing in Buffalo.
I think
No
the
chance.
greatest. I think the greatest story is with Mitch Trubisky's old team.
Bringing in Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle.
Did they improve?
Well, here's the thing. Not only did they bring in Andy Dalton, but what they did before, they offered 3 first-round picks for Russell Wilson and 2 starters on their team. So Seattle's and Seattle said no. So
locked.
Seattle's not trading him.
He's locked in
So,
there.
yeah. Seattle's not trading. And then you go sign Andy Dalton as a consolation. Like what?
That's so bad.
Don't
Would
you
not
go like
turn
knock
around
the
and try and
doors
give that
down on
same
Deshaun?
prospect? That's what I was gonna say. The exact same package for Deshaun. Like if you're
Right?
willing to do that for Russ, would you not just be like, oh, all right, how about you guys? Seems like
and me
I'd be in.
personally, I'd rather have Deshaun because he's younger.
Yeah. He's
That
a guy
brings
that
up
wants
the
out
point,
too.
since we're talking about him. Like, what's the whole deal? I saw it in the news. They're investigating him right now.
Yeah, for some.
Someone came out and said something about his treatment of women.
Yeah. And
He
Deshaun
says
went
it's a
on
load
Twitter
of bullshit and he's ready to fight it in courts and
Yeah.
they
So
just
we'll
want
see how
money
that-
is basically what they're saying.
So at this stage, it's a too early he said, she said kind of deal where who knows how it can end up.
I don't want to say no to either side, but Deshaun
Yeah.
seems pretty hard on the fact that it's all bullshit and he's ready to fight it in court because they just want money. The other side seems to think something about his character, so it's not really something you can talk about yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about New England spending spree, cause holy, they just went and just.
They wanted
It's
everything.
not like they signed like a bunch of guys. They signed just guys. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Some good, some
plug and
bad.
play.
Some good, some bad.
John Smith's a nice one. I like that.
John Smith, nice, but also tight end's kind of overrated. Jonnu's never really done it. I love Jonnu, but then they go and sign Hunter Henry as well.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
And I mean, if you're New England, that's the first time you have 2 good tight ends since Gronk
the
and
glory
he who
days.
shall
Back in the old
he and
days.
he who shall not be named.
Yikes.
So at least you're getting competent players around Cam Newton now. But then you go and sign Nelson Aguilar to 2 years,
You
$26
go
million.
right against
$22
the
million.
competent players thing, just like that.
Well,
Wait,
okay,
how much
Aguilar
did he
was Aguilar was good last year. Don't get me wrong. But 2 years and $22 million with $16 million guaranteed, and Kendrick Bourne for $323, I
Will
think.
Fuller just got a 1 year, $10 million.
So
Will
this is
Fuller
what
is he's a lottery.
So no, but come on, Will Fuller's still better than all of them.
Relatively speaking.
When he's
And
healthy.
not even
Yeah.
close.
If he stays
But
healthy.
it doesn't matter. But
The
it
only
doesn't
time he
matter.
stayed healthy was when he was on steroids.
What's the risk? Hey, shh, details.
Well,
Mind
that's
the
what I
details.
mean,
But
like,
even in those 6 games that he would play
Sure.
when he wasn't healthy, he's still far better than them.
Sure.
Okay,
But
here. 3.8 million for John Brown.
Mm-hmm.
6 million for Emmanuel Sanders. 10 million for Will Fuller. And you go and give these 2 guys that like aren't consistent a bunch of money? What?
I don't get it. That makes sense. I don't really understand why they re-signed Cam either. That still doesn't make sense to me.
I think it's just like a safety net. I don't mind the deal.
I don't
It's
hate.
not like it's
I
a ton of
love that
money.
Cam has a team again, but I
You're
didn't.
right.
I thought he was done there.
I think
thought
him
maybe
and
he
Bill
goes
like each
somewhere
other.
else. That's wild.
Yeah, right?
I still
What
want
a
him to
match made in
succeed.
hell.
That's so
Yeah, I like
weird.
him.
Like you went
Love
from
Cam.
like Bill and Tom as like they seem like the same guy, and now you have
So
Cam.
Billy Cam. What?
It's so weird.
I think
The
he's chasing
flashiest
a dragon
motherfucker
of,
in the game, and like the most bland vanilla dude you've ever met in fucking Bill Belichick.
Does Cam Newton text Bill like how he posts on his Instagram captions with the weird letter?
He's got all those fucking symbols and shit.
Characters?
Absolutely. Oh my god. I want to know
Trent
what
Williams-
goes through
Trent-
Cam's
Trent-
Yeah,
mind.
that's the biggest deal to this point, is it not?
Trent
That's-
Williams signed the fucking bag, bro. 6 years, $138 million.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's a shame they don't have a a quarterback behind them.
Yeah.
Washington might be good. They got Fitz. I think Fitz is a nice veteran quarterback that comes in and does a job.
I love
don't
the
think he
Curtis
does-
Samuel deal.
And then Curtis Samuel. That's the other one I was about to say. Like
Yeah.
Curtis
Logan
Samuel
Thomas was really good.
Yeah, dude.
And then they also have Cam Sims, like and then to go
What's
with
his
Antonio Gibson and J.D. McKissick, like
McKissick. That's what I'm looking for.
super
They're good.
fun.
They're an interesting team. Very dynamic. 'Cause, like,
quarterback away.
McKissick can do
Like,
weird shit, and Gibson can do weird shit, both catching and running.
I think you draft a quarterback and then you groom him under Fitz. Like
Under
I think
Fitz.
that's perfect.
He doesn't
And
take
Fitz will do
Fitz's
good.
job this year. It's not like a Tua situation where you're putting him in, but I think Fitz just runs that offense the way Alex Smith did, where they looked really good, and then their defense is elite. And you added Curtis Samuel to that offense that, like, it was already dynamic as shit, and you brought in the Panthers' most dynamic wide receiver. I think it's just going to be an incredible fit. I think they are putting themselves in a spot to be ahead of everyone else in that division. Sorry, Mauro.
I think they're the safest team. Yeah, like on paper.
Who else is made like? Who else in that division are you looking at? Like, oh, they got better than the football team did.
I like Dallas's offense still.
Give it by the end.
Did
of the
Kyle
night,
Rudolph?
and
Did Kyle Rudolph do that for you?
Give it by the end of the night, and we can have that discussion.
Sure. But as we sit right now at
As we sit right
9:47,
now.
Kenny Galladay doesn't change the fact that Daniel
I don't think
Jones
Kenny
is your
Galladay
quarterback.
makes him that much. Yeah,
No, but at
No,
this
Kenny
point, like
Galladay is
this
good.
is probably the
Really good.
ultimate version of the Giants' offense, and basically, it's the make or break year for Daniel Jones. No ifs, ands, or buts
Right.
about it. There's no excuses.
But
was
he
it
doesn't
last
have
year
a
also
like
the make
number
or break year?
But he
Okay,
didn't
but
have
you
a
lose
number one
Barkley
receiver.
right off the bat,
Yeah, okay.
and from that point, every team knew that you.
So
weren't
what do
gonna
we
run
what
the
do we
ball.
do when he loses Barkley in week 3 again this year?
Oh.
Well, let's knock on wood on that, but
Like
again, like he's only played, I'm
he's
pretty
class.
sure, like one game worth of his entire offensive arsenal. Obviously, the turnovers are no excuse for that, but
But it would help if you had guys that were competent.
yeah,
Pass rushers got absolutely paid. Bud Dupree got 582 from Tennessee. That's a good, like, I like him. Shaq Barrett got 4 from 68, which is like a hometown discount also, but like, why wouldn't you to be in Tampa Bay?
Sure,
How are you, Super Bowl
another
champs?
team that
Like,
could probably win it again after getting
Trey
Brady
Hendrick-
and Gronk.
Trey Henderson goes from New Orleans to Cincinnati, 4 for 60. Matt Judon to New England, 4 for 54. Like, that's a good player, but like, I would have went like and got more good players instead of just a bunch of
A bunch of
guys
plug and
with-
plays. But like
Yeah.
that's just kind of the New England way is get a bunch of guys
Right.
that just you can plug in and
Right.
hope they do well, and if not, here's another guy.
and they usually do. Like,
And eventually
That's
you
okay.
just
They
throw a
normally
bunch
fit
of
the system,
noodles
yeah.
at a wall and hope something sticks.
right. Justin Herbert got a lot of protection. He got Corey Linsley, and then I think he got a right tackle as well. I can't even remember who it was, but like, it was a lot of deals made to where
Mhm.
there's still guys out there.
Mhm.
There wasn't the massive names this year, but it's just making me want football to come back so much sooner.
Yeah.
The
Like-
massive names are in like trades this year.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
There's not a lot of free agents, but like
But if
a
you
lot
look at
of
it, there's still
trade
quality
options.
names. Obviously, Juju's a top 2 receiver for any team. Kenny Galladay is probably the
I
best available still. Mitchell Schwartz is a name that I look at, and it's like the team that picks
Yeah,
him
he's
up.
good. Yeah, he's good.
He's a good guy to solidify any team's chance of, protecting their quarterback. So, I mean,
Who was
obviously
it?
with the draft around the corner too, like whoever, at least looking at it from the Giants' perspective, whoever they're not spending money on in the free agency, I'd hope that they then go ahead and fill that
Get
position at the draft.
We didn't talk about my favorite situation in the entire NFL. The Rams traded Michael Brockers to the Lions. Did you hear what Michael Brockers said 2 weeks ago?
When they traded
When
for
he-
Matthew Stafford.
He called Matthew Stafford a significant upgrade over what what's his name? Over what Jared Goff was, and he's they're going to be way better with Matt Stafford because he's just better than Jared Goff. And welcome back to Jared Goff, my friend.
They asked him to take a discount.
He didn't.
And instead, not only do you go to Detroit, you also go back to Jared Goff.
I love it. I love every second of that, man. That's so good. That hurts.
It's incredible.
It's great.
Really, it legitimately made me laugh out loud.
Oh, I was dying.
But like, there's still good players out there. Kenny Dollars is still available. Jadeveon Clowney's still available. Juju's still available. Schwartz, Ty, Carlos Dunlap was good. Or Dory Jackson got cut out of nowhere. That like he wasn't healthy, but
Kendall Fuller. Yeah, I don't know if you just mentioned him in your list.
He just got cut by the Bears.
Yeah,
most
today.
David Andrews, like Eric Fisher from the Chiefs, like
he's injured though. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, so who knows how much of the season he misses. Antonio Brown's still available, but like I assume he just goes back to
for nothing.
To the Bucks.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't you?
I'd be shocked if he goes somewhere else, but I wouldn't be all that surprised. That guy's got some stuff going on that makes you think a little weird. Don't know if you ever noticed.
CTE.
Don't know if you ever noticed, but that guy's brain's a little mangled.
A little bit.
A wee bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It was weird that like the Chargers let Hunter Henry go, but they helped they helped Herbert out at least like by getting protection. So I assume they just draft a bunch of guys. Well, that's interesting. NFL free agency. It's coming in like waves. It wasn't. I remember like a couple of years ago. I remember when like Revis signed and it was signing and stuff. Like as soon as 12 o'clock hit, you got boom, 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 boom. Here's where everyone's going. Now it trickles out. It's trickling out over the past 3 days.
Like I've been following this Kenny Galladay situation, especially just because, and like it's weird. Like I know you see it a lot in hockey, but he apparently met with the the Bears yesterday. He's meeting with the Giants probably as we speak. And I mean, for football, I feel like you rarely see this.
Rarely see visits, yeah.
So
it is interesting. Damn, I was just gonna say something along those lines, but I can't remember. Okay, let's move on.
Are we gonna talk about March Madness at any point? I know nothing.
Do we need to? Do we need to?
Yeah, I have. I got nothing.
Duke missed the tournament.
They did for the first time since the 90s. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Wow.
Right?
Like the entire time growing up has been like Duke's just a powerhouse in that tournament. Like they're always possible to win it.
See what Zion said?
No.
They asked him for his prediction. He's like, if Duke's not in it, I'm not interested.
That's funny.
I swear it was the Zags, Baylor.
Gonzaga, Baylor, Michigan, and can't remember.
I heard it's going to be a good tournament. I heard it's pretty close this year.
I know the Zags have been in the one spot a couple years past.
They have a chance to go undefeated, right? For the first time since I forget.
I have no idea.
I think it was Gonzaga.
I doubt it. I doubt they're undefeated, honestly. But Alabama's now a basketball school. What's up?
No,
okay.
We go.
They have a kid from Mississauga on their team. Illinois is the last one seed. Just wait. When Alabama wins both college football and basketball, then you'll know what's up. They're actually a number 2 seed. They're good.
Okay.
Hey, okay.
Sure, man.
Let's talk about the NBA. I think the Raptors lost 7 games in a row for the first time since Kyle Lowry's first year on the Raptors.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So
that
they were half a team for most of it. In fairness,
I was watching yesterday's game too, though, and I mean,
you got half the team coming back from COVID.
Exactly.
I'm not worried. I'll worry next week.
So half of like the fan base, except I think it's like 2/3 want the Raptors to sell. The other half wants them to just run it back, like just give the team a chance.
Just have fun.
Me personally, I'm in team fade for Cade. Cade Cunningham is the number 1 pick presumptive.
Yeah.
And so I'm in that group of the fan base because
that's a very far fall.
But I mean, they're already like the 5th worst team in the NBA. I think like record wise, like
Percentage-wise?
they're among the worst. Now they could climb up if
They could also be
easy,
in top 5 next week.
exactly if they wanted to. But like
The
the team's not
Timberwolves
good
only
enough.
have 9 wins.
The team's not good enough to then compete for a title. So I don't understand what we're doing if there's no star player that you can get or trade for off your roster. So like I'm in for like it doesn't make sense to not trade Kyle, like, because it doesn't look like he's coming back in the offseason.
No.
Yeah.
And then a guy like Norm, I don't see why you wouldn't cash in on him. Like I think it makes sense to trade them both, opposed to just run it back. And what like is it a positive if you lose in the first round? Like I don't think so.
What does it do for you other than we made it?
It doesn't get you. Yeah, it doesn't get you better in the long run. But you also have to take into consideration that like the Raptors, they pride themselves on being a winning organization, like Spurs-esque. You know what I mean? That they're just not going to purposely tank. But in a way, like you also have to be smart, like business wise, and you can't just lose assets for nothing because it's not a guarantee that Norm comes back in the offseason. It's not a guarantee that Kyle comes back, obviously. So it's balancing asset management, but also like emotional equity that you have in the players. So it's tough.
They're only 2.5 games out of a playoff spot, but they're also like 5 games out of last.
But only to get a first round matchup with who
either
is it right now?
Sixers
Brooklyn,
or
Philly.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, like
for what? What are we doing this for? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't fear the Sixers personally.
Okay.
Like I don't like if there's any team in the playoffs that doesn't scare me, it's the Sixers.
I'm on team. Let's try to get as big of a piece as we can.
Sure.
Trade Kyle and Norm to Miami. Give us Tyler Hero back. What's up?
Wouldn't it be more fun if we knocked out the Philadelphia Sixers in the first round, though?
Of course it would be, because fuck the Sixers.
How realistic do I think that is? Not likely, but I would be all in on 1%. Yes.
Like 1%.
I think it's possible. I think it'd be cool.
You're missing a significant player from the last time. I don't know.
Yeah. Nah, he wasn't.
You know, you really missed Danny Green. You really missed Danny Green.
We are definitely missing the 3-point shooting of Danny Green because that guy. Let's see.
Sure.
They only beat us by 7 last time. Where's the other? They played us twice, no? We beat them, and they beat us by 7 again.
Okay.
It's a winnable series.
Okay. No, it's not.
They suck in the playoffs, man. When's the last time they've been good in the playoffs?
I mean, they took us to 7.
That's it.
Here's also a thing. I want to see the Raptors with like a chance to get a stud in the draft. Like they haven't.
Sure.
They've always done the like. Could you imagine the Raptors' development with alongside like just natural talent?
Let alone the guys that they pick in the 20 spots.
Exactly.
They crush those picks as it is. Imagine having just the luxury of picking whoever you want.
Right. I think that'd be huge.
Yeah.
We have an activity or no?
I don't think so. I got nothing.
All right. I can think of one if you want to do this. I have one at the top of my head.
I like watching you think.
Okay. Morrow, we have to leave out soccer from this because I don't know them.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
we are going to draft
here we
from
go.
the 4 major sports. Jerseys.
Oh,
best
shit.
Jerseys.
Oh, shit. How many we get?
1 from each sport.
Oh.
See, the
now,
problem
base
I'm
jerseys
with you on this.
Or all jerseys?
Soccer, they change it year on end, so
I don't know any soccer
I'm
jerseys.
all for canceling soccer from this one. Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
Okay.
Hot take, I wouldn't draft a soccer jersey. I hate them. I hate the fact that your sponsor is the biggest part of your jersey. Why is that a thing? Explain this to me. You're the soccer guy. Explain it to me.
Why?
Yes. I hate it. I know it's a European thing, but like even the MLS does it. Like, why is the sponsor the biggest, most visual point of the entire jersey?
I got no answer to that, to be honest.
Cool.
But
that's why I hate it. That's the only reason I hate soccer.
Because it's all you got to think though. It's Europe. What do they care?
Oh, that's what I mean. Europeans, they even like European hockey is just fucking banners of.
There's
sponsorships
Ads
everywhere.
everywhere. Yeah, I'm
brutal.
telling you, like it's just the
It's
way
brutal.
of thinking there.
It's also why
fuck.
soccer players get paid $4 gajillion a year.
Yeah.
So makes sense.
This isn't going to be easy because we're all going off the top of our heads.
Yep.
Now, is it current jerseys or is it?
I would also, I think anything the current would make sense, but are we doing just the base, like home and away jerseys? Or like alternates, reverse retros?
No, fuck me.
Okay.
Completely off the top of our head? Okay.
I don't, okay, reverse retros, no. But like alternates, yeah. You know what I mean? Like you can't be like Anaheim. Because like that's.
I hate those.
Yeah, they could have done it so much better.
They can keep those ones. I fucking hate those jerseys. And there seems to be a lot of love for them. But like LA.
Do I have to go? All right, random.com. How many should I randomize? How many times should I randomize? 3 times? 2 times?
74 times.
Well, thanks. I'm not doing that many. Yeah, 1 time. 2.
I'm gonna tell you one time.
Soccer.
Brant.
Sorry.
Morrow. Me.
Okay.
Okay.
Go for it. You get your choice.
I'm gonna pick first.
Okay.
I feel like I always get to pick first. I love it.
Okay.
How am I gonna work with this now? Let's see.
You wanna? Are you thinking? What are you thinking?
Oh, you guys are figuring out the rest of the order? No.
No, that's literally the order.
Okay.
I just said
My bad.
I'm just getting a list ready.
I thought I got to pick my spot because that's what we did last time.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
No, I was thinking like you do it all at once.
Okay.
Sorry, not all at once, but like it's snake draft, but you can pick through all the teams. Correct? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna pick from the NHL first because the other ones are just a mixed bag for me. I don't know if I'm gonna have the same pick as you guys, but I like the Colorado Avalanche's third jerseys. I think they're one of the nicest jerseys in the NHL, including the reverse retros.
Which one is that?
It's like the navy blue with like the Avalanche like triangle.
Are they wearing that this year?
I don't know. I've seen them wear it once.
That was a Winter Classic jersey. That was a Winter.
No, it was their alternates last year.
No, it was their alternate.
It was their alternates.
Was it?
100%. Oh yeah, they wore it a shit ton last year. I think they've worn it a couple times.
It's like the Rockies logo. No?
Yeah, it's like that like mountain shape thing.
Like the old hockey.
Do we throw a flag on this?
Nope.
No, because I know that it is in fact
I know for a fact it was their alternates last year, and I'm 90% sure it was this year.
No. If it's not a current one, do we throw the flag?
No, I'm. As of last year, it was their primary.
But that was a 1-year
jersey.
You know what I mean?
No, they had him.
It's still their jersey.
I'm not disputing this one. It's one of the nicer jerseys.
Still their jersey.
Oh, you're saying like the triangle,
like
Yeah,
the
Colorado.
I love that jersey.
That one.
That's my favorite jersey of all time.
I don't like that one.
I love it so much. It's the color scheme's nice. It just looks gorgeous. I love it so much.
Not a fan of that. I love what they did with their new ones. Like a lot of people didn't like them with the blue pants.
I hate that. I hate it so much. I hate that blue. It looks so bad.
I think it looks cool, man.
I
don't like their jerseys like as a whole, but like I think it looks better than it did before. Morrow, you got the second pick.
That is a great question I have for myself now. Fuck. Okay. You can dispute it if you want, because I'm not sure if they still use it, but the black, yellow, red Vancouver Canucks jerseys. The skate logo.
They don't.
Isn't that the reverse retro?
Mm-mm.
No,
the reverse retro is the Sprite game.
It was their 40th anniversary.
Yeah,
alternate.
They use the blues, the whites, the hockey stick logo, and then their Sprite can reverse retros, but they don't use the hockey skate anymore.
Well, shit. Back to the drawing board.
I do love that jersey though. That's so nice.
That's probably one of the nicest ones I can.
Is that the equivalent to not handing in your pick on time?
Basically. No, that
You're
was
on the
honestly
clock.
the
No, I'm
primary
kidding. I'm
jersey
kidding.
I had.
I'm kidding. I don't mind. I don't. If
Whatever.
we want to set the
Give me the
precedent,
Yankees pin. Give me the Yankees pinstripes.
wow.
There's nothing more professional than that.
Oh,
I'm fine with allowing the past jerseys. I guess I'm
It's too
fine
late
with it.
now. It's too late.
Whatever. Picks in.
Okay. I'm gonna go baseball with my first pick.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Kelly Green Oakland A's jerseys. Look those up. Those are sweet.
I think I know what you're talking about. But... Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Those are nice.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you meant.
We go those.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're not even my favorite baseball ones, but whatever. I'm gonna go with the blue shirts. I'm gonna go with the New York Rangers, the home blues.
Really?
Yeah, I love them.
Okay. They are nice jerseys. I
Yeah,
don't typically think of them as like the top of the group for me.
I think it's the nicest like just jersey in the NHL.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. I'm stumped again, honestly.
I'm struggling real hard with the NBA.
I'm struggling on all fronts, so
I know the NBA has 1,000 jerseys per team, and I don't know any of them.
That's what I was saying. Like, you could go in history, but that's fine. We set the precedent that current jerseys. That's fine.
see, like I would pick the Miami Vice jerseys, but I don't like how they look
Right.
this year at all.
Like
the
the
previous
super
versions are
medium
really
thing?
nice.
Oh, the green one's awful, and I don't like the yellow ones that they came out with.
I didn't see those.
Yeah, no, not great.
Oh, fuck me, man. What other NBA? Do the Mavs still wear that
Oh, I got mine.
Mavs City
spray
jersey?
paint
I
one?
think.
The spray paint.
Yeah, I
one
like that spray paint one.
I don't. They don't. Was last year.
Oh my lord!
It's tough, man. That's what I mean. The NBA changes their jerseys every 10 minutes.
Fuck, man.
Your
At
jersey's
this
already
point,
out
can
of
I just
style
take
if they wore it
Juventus'
this year.
jersey?
You just fill it in. Take a
Fuck.
football jersey.
Holy fuck! I got nothing. NHL. Who the fuck wears a nice jersey in the NHL?
The Carolina Hurricanes white alternates are really nice.
What do you guys think of those Dallas ones?
Ugly as shit.
The all
The
white ones.
Stormtrooper ones?
I am not here
Like
for
the
that.
neon, the laser tags.
No.
No,
The white
no,
head to
Stormtrooper.
toe,
Oh,
white
I
helmet,
thought
white
those-
shirt,
I
white
thought
gloves,
those- I
white
like
pants,
those.
white socks.
I like
Oh,
the white.
I'm
I
not
like
here
the
for
white
it.
one.
It's
I like the
so
white because you're
white.
playing on white ice too. Like
It's
who the fuck?
oh.
mhm.
I didn't see it.
It's
on
like
the
the
ice.
Leafs when they wore those all white ones. I hated that. That like white with the white pants and the white brown gloves. I think they went with, but like, oh,
fuck.
I
man.
like them. I don't like the neon ones. Those ones are trash.
no, those are bad.
Honestly, I'm fucking stumped, man.
Murrow, we're on pick
No
2, man.
Yeah, I know, man. Fucking thing.
No jerseys come to mind as just like I like
You
these.
have 30 options in
Right.
3 leagues. 32 in one of them.
And he's just like I'm out.
Because I'm trying to think like alternate jerseys too.
Yeah,
Like, otherwise, I'm just gonna pick the nicest jerseys that are just classics.
do it.
Yeah, so that's what
That's
I give
fine.
the Rangers.
Yeah, the Rangers are the most basic ass jersey, but they're nice.
Yeah. Go with the.
Then give me a
the
pack.
hat.
Then give me the Packers jersey.
Okay.
That's a terrible pick.
No, I don't.
Here
I
we
think
are. Get ready for 2 more.
We're back to me.
Yeah.
I might sound like a homer for 2 in a row here.
Mhm.
I really like the Blue Jays third jerseys. The baby blues. I hate the uniform, but I love the jersey itself, like that, like the baby blue look. I'm gonna go with
That's
those.
what I regret now.
I think it could have been better, but yeah.
I regret that.
I like the see. I think the jersey was well done. I think the hat was well done, but I think they fucked up by going with the stupid ass pants. And then the NFL, man, one of the fucking 2 reasons that I cheer for the Carolina Panthers because I absolutely love the color scheme. Bye, Moro.
Bye, Moro. No.
You're gone.
You're out of StreamYard.
But yeah, Carolina Panthers 5 sure. Just
So
their
you
black
want-
ones. Their black one,
Okay.
like
No, that's
the
fair.
black with the
They can't-
blue stripes.
they
I
can't- they
love
can't-
that
they
color
can't.
scheme. It's gross.
You got to join back on. Okay. Stay hot, Moro. Stay hot.
Hell of a run. Oh, buddy.
It's
There we go.
completely dead. Like I'm like 10 minutes
long
from bedtime,
day.
man.
Okay.
Hold on. I think I got mine. Hold on. They're running the throwback jerseys this year in Phoenix for the Suns.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go with that. That's probably one of the
one's
nicer
really
jerseys.
Which ones? The earned
Who's
or
the
the
NBA have 19 alternates. You're gonna have to be specific.
Phoenix Suns jersey 2021.
Oh,
The
how it
Valley
kind of
one?
looks like how it kind of looks like the
The old one. Yeah. Give me
The
that.
purple
Not-
with the ball.
it
Like
kind
those
of looks
things?
like that, but it's not as good.
It's the closest like it's the
that
color scheme
real?
is on
Yeah,
on
it is.
point, but it's obviously not like the Steve Nash
Right.
black jersey. Like that's probably one of the nicest ones.
Right.
This thing that says the Valley on it, is that this year?
Yeah.
The City Edition ones?
Yeah, that's their
Yeah.
city jersey. That's
Those
the
are
one I'm going
filthy.
But
with.
he's not. No, I thought you went with.
Was that the one you want?
Yeah,
thought
I'm
you
going with
wanted-
the Valley one.
It's got like the
Valley.
V of
Oh, the
like
Valley,
the okay. Those are sick. I didn't even see those.
They're very in line with the
Yeah.
retro looking.
Those are cool. I like that.
Look, I made a good
All right.
pick.
Your
It only
last pick was
cost me closing
fine. I
the
just
tab and
fucking
leaving the
hate
thing, but I
pack.
made a good pick.
You had to risk it. It's okay.
I'm gonna go NFL.
Oh yeah.
Now I was thinking, one just popped in my head.
Okay.
I won't go with it, but the white Dallas Cowboys are very nice. I will give them that.
Like the OG whites.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of those.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna go Raiders, black and silver and black.
I love the Raiders jerseys.
Silver and black. Like it's
They're gorgeous. Like
They're
they're,
just
so
so
basic, but they're so
they're
nice.
so nice.
It's when you buy the actual jersey, it's literally just black. It's just a black jersey.
Like-
but
I was gonna go with if it was still like the Phillip Rivers powder blue ones, I would have went with those, but I don't like the new powder blues. Not a fan of them. For the Chargers.
the Raiders actually have the exact same jersey that the Baltimore Ravens have, because theirs is also just black, but it's got the Ravens patches. That's all
Right.
the only difference between the two.
Okay. Do I go just layup or do I go with something fun?
I think it's not as fun unless you do something fun.
Okay. Brent, you're out of picks, right? Or
I
no?
have one more.
Which
Which
sport
would
do you have
you
left? You don't have hockey, so good.
I have
I'm-
basketball.
I've locked my pick in beforehand.
Fuck. I don't want to leave this one for you just because it's so easy.
I don't think you're gonna take mine.
No? Can I,
don't
get the
think so.
conference?
West.
Lakers, done.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with Lakers home. Even I like the purple ones too, but like just
They're,
Lakers.
yeah, they're just
Whatever
iconic
Lakers
jerseys.
jersey-
You can't really complain about it.
Lakers.
All right. I thought about it, but I wasn't really.
Now it's
Mm-hmm.
me.
Yeah.
I'm not that basic ass.
One of my
bitch.
favorite jerseys all time is the 2004 Tampa Bay Lightning when they won the cup. And they brought something
They brought it
very
back?
similar back this year, so I'm going
like it.
Tampa Bay reverse retro.
I'll give it to you.
Nice.
All right.
Like I actually
I
have one in my room. I have St. Louis and it's autographed. It's fucking sick. My favorite jersey.
I really like Dame Lillard. And I
Okay.
love the entire Portland look of that like red, white, and black and just the way everything goes together. But their black jersey, dude, it's been one of my favorite NBA jerseys for a while now. So
That
it's
is a
not
good
as tough
jersey.
of a pick as I thought it was. But that Portland jersey, gorgeous. I love that. Like the red, white, and black color scheme works for so many teams.
It works
Like,
really good.
The Blackhawks create some of the nicest jerseys.
The Heat, like
and it's so
I'm
simple,
not
too.
even big on the Heat ones, but yeah.
The Bucks.
I can't remember if Memphis is still doing the Vancouver Grizzlies jerseys, but I could have went with that one. That one's sweet.
None of us took the throwback Raptors, eh?
I mean, they don't use
They
them.
don't have them this year.
They don't wear the
No.
Dino ones this year, do they?
No, I would have.
Or else that was
Hey,
my
did you see
easy
their?
pick.
I would have went with like that. The Magic throwbacks, like those are sick. The
They're
Shaq ones.
they're selling off the court from last year. I don't know
in
how they're
those
selling
tables?
it. Yeah, that's kind of
And
wicked.
Leon's. I know. I kind of want one.
I didn't look at the price
They're
or
doing like
see
a
what they are.
lottery. They're doing
Yeah.
like a lottery, a giveaway. I'm just like, I want to
That's
do
crazy.
it. Do we want to do one quick round of the worst jersey in any sport? Just
Can we include the reverse retros?
Why don't
no.
we
That's
just,
too much of a
why don't we
layup. That's
just
too
list,
much of a layup.
Why don't we just list them all?
Don't you dare come at the Los
Okay,
Angeles
not
Kings
all,
jerseys.
Not all. Okay,
Minnesota?
Let me retract.
Or the
that.
Wild jerseys. Those are gorgeous.
It makes me like the Minnesota Wild.
Oh my
for
god.
some
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
Again, one
Looks
of
so
the very
nice. When they
one
play
of the
each
very
other.
few
oh.
retro jerseys I own, Lightning and the Minnesota North Stars. Like
See? That Kings jersey is elite. I genuinely might buy one. I did I tell you guys I bought a Mikko Lehtinen jersey?
no.
For DH
Like,
Really?
oh yeah. Like a month and a half ago I bought it. And he
Yeah.
got shipped out before my jersey got shipped out. So that's it's great.
Man.
Okay, you ready to hear
Sorry
these
to hear
takes on
that,
some
man.
jerseys?
I
think
still get
Denver
told
Broncos-
every day, and that I bring him up, that I should still be an owner of a Ron Hainsey jersey. So there's that.
You got to be able to find those
You
for like
should.
$20 now.
Yeah.
Somewhere it's got to be like,
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe Value Village or Marshalls or something.
I'll still wear it to Leafs games too. That's the crazy part.
I wear my
we know
Jake
you.
Gardner jersey with pride. A lot of pride.
Oh fuck! You know what jersey is super nice? The Phillies baby blues.
Yeah.
Those are sweet.
Yeah, I do like
Any
those.
baby blue, actually, I regret not picking
Yeah,
the blue.
and-
That was
the
stupid.
Rangers one's
And
good.
Rangers ones are still good.
The Rays ones are just the OG baby blue that just hit.
I'm not a. It's their best jersey.
love
I think their jerseys are trash. Okay, so Tampa trash, Denver Broncos trash jersey. Not a fan.
No,
Not a fan.
it's average. Trying to think of who's got shit jerseys. I think the Browns have nice jerseys. Like I like that brown and orange
like
color
that.
scheme. It doesn't work to wear it, but I
I
like
hate
the
when they
look.
had the orange number.
Yeah.
The
just straight
orange on
brown
top of
look
the
like
brown.
orange.
You
Yeah,
couldn't
those don't
read
look
it.
good. Yeah, those don't look
The
very good.
old Tampa ones, the Jameis
Not as
era
nice.
Tampa ones,
Not nice.
god awful. The new Tampa ones, nice.
Saints jerseys are nice.
Yeah,
I always like that color scheme. I can't think of any shit jerseys.
you can't.
I know that.
fuck with
Oh, the L.A. Rams whitish
New ones?
grayish jerseys.
No, the new ones. The new ones. They're all awful.
Is
They're
there more
all
new
awful.
ones?
Oh my god! No,
Like
they're
the-
all, every
Yeah,
The
single
ones
one
they
of
wore
them.
last year.
Fuck,
Yeah,
those are the worst jerseys in sports.
horrible, horrible.
Yeah.
When they had the nicest throwbacks. in
Yeah,
history. Oh my god, those jerseys are the worst.
but like they've always been the same. And then this year they went with that like for their white jerseys, it's like an off-white grayish
It's
look.
off-white,
It's
yeah.
awful. It's
Awful.
terrible. That is the worst jersey. I stand by it.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't like the Miami Heat gradient one very much.
No,
But-
I'm not a fan of their yellow one that they did either.
I don't know enough of the NBA ones to be like, that
What do
one's
you
the
guys?
worst.
What's you guys' thoughts on the Bumblebee Steelers jerseys? A lot of people love them. I'm not a fan.
Just not a fan
They're
of it. Steelers?
very old school.
That's weird. It worked back in the day, and now it's just like
Right.
stop.
Did you guys see this new Raptors jersey, the Earned It one?
The purple one.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I'm fine with it.
Mm,
They could have done it way better. But
I
know,
think
like,
they could have
yeah,
done all of their jerseys way better. I
like
think
that's what
why
it's
they're
come
losing
down
this
to
year
with
is
all
because their
these
jerseys
jerseys.
fucking suck this year.
Each sport now is running 4 different jerseys per team. Like I'm spoiled for choice to the point that I don't know what the fuck to say anymore, because then I'm going with the simple ones, and it's like, well, I feel like I could have put more thought into it. And here I am picking the Yankees jersey over the nicest Blue Jays jersey I've seen since Roy Halladay donned it. Peace be upon him.
I mean, I do like the pinstripes. Like they're nice, but
yeah.
Ugh. Is the
I'd
Raptors
never
one
wear
like
it.
the
It's
purple with the
No.
black like V here?
which
The
one?
black
Yeah,
shoulder.
that's
Yeah.
the Raptors.
I don't hate that.
No,
I
I
think
don't
the
hate it
shorts
either.
are a little weird to go with it, but the jersey itself is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think you should have just went with straight purple shorts, but
I mean, I think SB Nation ranked it as the nicest one of
Really?
the. Yeah, they were a big fan.
God.
I mean,
I get like the arrow is to the north, I guess, when you do they have this whole arrow
Right,
thing going on.
right.
I kind of get it, but I don't
Mhm.
like it. The red ones with the white arrow was nice.
Mhm.
I like those.
I think that's gonna do it for this week. We're gonna be back sometime next week. Hopefully, the Leafs make a trade by then, and maybe the Raptors blow it up by then. Who knows?
Hopefully,
But,
by tomorrow
until
the Giants sign Kelly Holiday, and
I mean,
Okay.
that you're the only one that hopes that, not us.
yeah,
I'd like to take my opinion back. The backs of those jerseys are black.
they don't go all the way
Raptors one?
across
No, they're black on the back.
for the Raptors. You're talking about, right?
Yeah. The whole
Yeah,
back is black.
I'm not a big.
I don't
fan.
like them anymore. That's so stupid. Why is that a thing? The front is so nice, and then the back is so not nice. That's trash.
Oh, you know what's super nice? A super nice jersey. The Dolphins alternates. Beauties.
Which ones are alternate? I know like the white and then the blue, but
It's like the old school looking jerseys.
old school looking jersey. I'll look it up.
It's just look up Dolphins alternate jersey, and then you'll see Fitzpatrick in it.
I see like the greenish bluish one.
Yeah, the aqua.
Yeah.
And it's got like the pinstripes on the arm. Not even just the stripes on the
Aren't
arms.
those the regular jerseys?
No, they have different home ones.
Oh.
I think those are so sweet. I want to get a 201 in that, and then he gets traded for Deshaun the next day.
Yeah.
But until next time, we'll see you guys. Peace.